Ejunto presents The Boy's Life of Theodore Roosevelt by Hermann Hagedorn. Prologue. This is a book for boys and girls, for tomboys and for men. Sentimentalists and slackers and folk who serve two masters will find nothing in it to appeal to them. But lovers of heroic tales will find the story, if not the telling of it, music and honey to their hearts, so long as there is the need of intrepid fighters for right and justice in the world, and that will be a long time. The story of Theodore Roosevelt is the story of a small boy who read about great men and decided that he wanted to be like them. He had vision, he had will, he had persistence, and he succeeded. What the final historical estimate of Theodore Roosevelt will be, we do not know. We only know that when he died, he was known not only to Americans, but to the people of the four corners of the earth as one of the world's greatest men. He was not a second Washington. He was not a second Lincoln. He was not a second Andrew Jackson. He was not a second anybody. He was Theodore Roosevelt, himself unique. There has never been anybody like him in the past, and though the world wait a long while, there will never be anyone like him in the future. For he had something of the prophet Ezekiel in him, and something of Natty Bumppo, something of Hildebrand the valiant warrior, something of Olaf the Sea King, something of Cromwell, something of Charlemagne. He belongs to the heroic line, and we need not ask what those grand fellows would have thought of him. For 8 years before he died, Theodore Roosevelt was beaten in every political campaign he entered. During those 8 years he made mistakes that would have killed and buried 12 ordinary public men. He was placed on the shelf as a mummy a half-dozen times. Yet to the end, every word he spoke was news. And when he went to a health farm and lost 14 pounds, the newspapers carried the tidings column long on the front page because they knew that the least thing that happened to T.R. was more interesting to the average American citizen than a diplomatic secret or a battle. He was more conspicuous in retirement than most of our presidents have been under the limelight of office. For Theodore Roosevelt was the epitome of the great 100 million, the visible, individual expression of the American people in the first quarter of the 20th century. He was the typical American. He had the virtue we like to call American, and he had the faults. He had energy, enterprise, chivalry, insatiable eagerness to know things, trust in men.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?